Hey guys, welcome to it. It's another episode of the Through It podcast. As always, if you want to get a hold of us, podcastthroughit@gmail.com. We'll give you the phone number at the end or something. I don't know. Welcome Erin to the show for this particular episode. Erin, hello. Erin, you are a two-time cancer survivor.
Yes.
Holy moly. All right. And before I get to the history, because I always like to start with history, how are you right now?
I would say I'm stable. I have other medical issues, but I'm kind of stable. I'm up and down usually,
Okay.
But
Okay.
right now I'm stable.
You're stable. Okay. All right. Good. Now let's go back. Was I told correctly? This is 20 plus years ago.
Yeah, I was 19 when I had my first diagnosis.
Okay. So you're 19. You graduated. You going to college?
Well, I got pregnant.
Okay.
And I was a freshman in college.
Okay. You didn't waste time. I like that. Good.
And
all right.
I had my daughter, and then she was not quite a year old, and I had lost a lot of weight beyond what I was before, and I kept getting what I thought were sore throats, and they wanted to take my tonsils out. And
Erin's a nurse as well.
Okay.
So she
Yeah.
has.
So
a
you
lot
were
of
going to
knowledge.
school to be a nurse then?
Yes.
Okay. So you popped out a kid. You're going to school, so you have plenty of time for rest.
right.
But you notice that, I'm losing weight and something ain't right. And
I mean, I was kind of oblivious. My primary care was like, oh, you're breastfeeding, you're in school full time, you work a lot of hours, like, it's probably just that.
I would have said the same. I mean, I'm no doctor, obviously, but I would, damn, you're busy. And even though
Yes.
you're young, that's a lot. So,
Yeah.
okay. So anyway, so you, this is the sore throat thing just kept coming kind of
Yeah.
thing? Okay.
And so they sent me to an ENT, and he did the neck exam and tipped my head back, and he was like, do you not feel that massive tumor?
Whoa.
And I'm like, no, never noticed it. I didn't know back then about checking your neck or any of those things. It was a while.
Especially when you don't have all this chin. You can't tell anything. All right. So they literally that quick tilted your head back and geez, okay.
Yep. I had been having trouble swallowing as well. Like, a lot of things that made sense after I found out this is what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he was like, I'm biopsying this right now. I'm there alone. And
Because you're just going in, big deal.
Yeah.
I go in, get a check. Maybe I'll get an antibiotic, whatever. you know.
right. And nope, sticks a needle in a bunch of places and biopsies it. And it took me a while to get them to call me back. And I was calling them, and I was like, something's up, because they're not just giving me results. And
And how old are you at this time?
I was 19.
Are you losing your mind, or are you just big deal? It's nothing. I'm a kid. You know, where are you at here?
I was, after I didn't get results for a couple weeks, I was like,
Weeks.
maybe I'm not, and they weren't calling me back. I was calling their office, because it was before, all the My Chart and anything electronic.
Sure.
So, and finally the doctor called me back and told me that it was cancer and that I needed to have my thyroid removed and go through radioactive iodine treatment. This was in June. I knew I had to get it done that summer because in the fall, I was at MCO at the time. If you missed those classes, you had to wait a year.
Sure. Yep.
So I was like, I'm going to get this done this summer and not miss school. Because
I'm just going to get it done. We get a thought. All right, so explain to me, and if there's any other dummies out there like me that doesn't know anything about anything, what exactly is a thyroid? Do you know? I don't know what exactly does a thyroid do?
It controls a lot of the hormones in your body. Your metabolism is controlled by that. Body temperature, skin, hair, nails.
Really?
Yeah. It's like one of the master.
It's like your brain,
Yeah.
almost.
And they're like, hey, you got cancer, we're just going to go ahead and remove it then.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And you just hear cancer and you're like, well, yeah, I want it out. I don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're like, oh, you just have to take medicine the rest of your life. And that's really it.
Is that fact?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
But they also then would say, this is the good cancer. If you had to get cancer, this is a good cancer. This is the one you want to get because we have treatment and we can cure it.
Oh, okay.
Because radioactive iodine specifically works on thyroid cells. So it's not like regular, radiation or chemo that affects all the cells. So, but you hear that enough that I didn't, for probably 15 years, even say I was a cancer survivor because it was downplayed so much.
Was it downplayed because it's the truth, or was it downplayed because you were young and they didn't want to freak you out?
I think because the statistics are that it is one of the most highly curable cancers, but that wasn't my case.
There's different types of thyroid cancer.
There's 4 different types, and I had one that spreads to the lymph nodes. And when they went in and took my thyroid out, they took all the lymph nodes around it, and all of them were positive for cancer. And then there's like 2 that are very bad, that are much more rare. And then the 2 in this side where I had papillary, and then I think it's medullary is on that other branch, more curable, treatable types. Like I think one over here is anaplastic, and that usually affects elderly, and they don't survive it.
Oh my!
So,
okay, so it's summertime. You get this procedure done. You're minutes from school. Obviously, you're going to go to school. You got a kid, and you have a spouse or a boyfriend or somebody there to support, I hope, parents and all that.
Yep, I lived at home.
Okay, so you're getting support and all this kind of stuff, even though you're probably still freaking out a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's a question that, unfortunately, we get when we talk to folks here is that, after divorce or something crazy happens, or they don't have. But at this time, you got people helping you out.
Yes.
Okay.
Great support system. But then, like, when I had to go in for my radioactive iodine treatment, I couldn't be around my daughter, like, for, like, a week after, because even though I'm in this paper-lined room that nothing can leave and nobody can come in, and they come in with a Geiger meter and scan me to see how radioactive I am.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, full suits, when they bring you the pill to swallow, they, like, take it out of the, like, space capsule with all the dry ice pouring out, and they're like using the utensils. They are literally covered.
Wow, really?
And they're like, here you go, take that, and then they're like, they get out of there, and you're like, it's just a, that was not. I was like,
really?
That's a little scary.
So you guys know each other at this time in your lives, correct? Because you've known each other since school.
Yes, since junior high school. But at this point, she was doing college. I was at a different college, and I had heard, that she was going through cancer treatment
at that age.
Yeah,
at that age.
Okay, so you get through taking these radioactive shots and all that. Where do you go from here? Then are you back to normal? Let's get back to school. We're fine, or
yes. Pretty much, it was. I went right back to school to start fall semester, and I had to do. Obviously, I was on medicine that took a while to regulate what dose I needed, and then I had routine follow-ups. I don't remember how often, every 6 months or something, and lots of scans, lots of blood draws, and all of that. But yeah, pretty much. Back to normal.
And you have how many kids?
Now or then?
Now.
There's 5 total.
There's 5 of them.
We're a blended family.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe suddenly you were trying to make people uncomfortable with all these babies. Oh, no. So then, but it happens again then eventually, right? And if I'm jumping ahead too far, let me stop and tell me if there's anything in the middle there. But we're talking back when you were a kid, a punk kid, you're going to school and all that. And then how long until the next time around? I mean, what happens?
So we had moved to Colorado for my husband's job, and so I had switched my medical care out there. And in Denver, they had a specific thyroid tumor clinic, so it wasn't just endocrinology. They were very specialized, and they kept saying at 5 years, you're considered good. I was just shy of 5 years, and during one of my blood tests, the tumor markers started creeping up. And then so they were doing ultrasounds and watching, and it had come back in a lot of the lymph nodes. And the biggest ones were wrapped around my carotid and my jugular.
Really?
So they couldn't even biopsy. They wouldn't even biopsy. They wouldn't go near it. And this was when I was married then, had my second child, and the same thing had happened he was almost a year old, just like the first time.
Okay.
And it comes back, and then I had to have they tried radioactive iodine again. It didn't do anything. So then I had to have a radical neck dissection. So my scar is like from up here all the way around. I know.
Oh, I guess you can now. Okay, I would have never seen it.
Most people don't ever.
No.
It's never really been noticeable.
But I mean, younger and you're getting this crazy stuff done. So
because they're like, no, it's like such a minute chance that it comes back, but it did.
Wow. All right. So 2 kids in. You're a nurse now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The husband took you out to Colorado where all the hippies are, and they ride a lot of bikes and smoke a lot of dope and all that. So you're away from home. And where are you at in your head? How are you even getting? This would drive me bonkers.
I learned I had to put it back, like somewhere in the back of my mind, because my stepchildren, I've been involved since they were little.
Yeah.
So
your mom.
I had all these kids, yes. We have 4 kids, and I'm working full time, and life is busy. So I just had to try to not think about it.
Erin's also the oldest in her family,
Yep.
so she's very much the typical oldest child.
Yes.
And she just...
Who gets all the phone calls?
She gets all the phone calls, she manages everything, and she just kind of deals with it. She just pushes through it.
Push through.
Okay, I fully appreciate that. That's because I know those kids who are the older ones who are very strong and have no choice but to be.
Yes,
and I more than admire that. I gotta find out. I gotta ask though, where or what happened? Was there a time that you closed the door and just let it rip and made some bad words and just let it? Did you have an explosion moment that you just then had to bring back in? Was there anything like that? No, you just kept rolling through.
Yep.
Well, I give you a lot of credit.
I had worked hospice a long time, like all through nursing school, and my perspective was very much it could be worse. I'm not dying. These people are going through much worse situations than I am, so I learned to be grateful for what I did have, and so I didn't let it consume me in that way.
Hey, I give you a lot of credit. I would want to flip over a table if I got told a second time
right.
that, and then you had to get carved open and all that. That's
that
crazy.
Surgery, that was a nerve-wracking surgery. Going into it.
It's a big surgery.
It was a big surgery.
Yeah, it's very big. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was out there in Colorado.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So that was.
And so when you had that happen, the kids were about young.
2. 1.5, 2.
Okay.
And then, let's see, then 5 or 6, and then 11 and 12.
Oh my, quite. And then you're going to be laid up for a while, obviously.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness. So that did it for you. You're good, all set, ready to go.
I've been good with that since that treatment.
Okay.
But I've had a lot of other things.
Now, in relationship to that, or just?
I feel like that might have been underlying a lot of other issues. Not having a thyroid is a much bigger deal than just take a pill and it replaces it and it's all good. There's a lot of side effects to not having your thyroid. Like my metabolism, it was extremely high. It still remained high, but I was freezing cold all the time.
Oh, yeah.
My dry skin, energy. I mean, there was a lot more that I just dealt with.
All right. Well, you seem very strong. You seem like you had no choice, also. But
Right.
and now let's go to the family here. I don't want to spend too much time on any one thing, but so you got the young kids. How are things with the family when everybody at home with you going through all this?
Well, ironically, my husband we moved out for his job, and he had injured his back severely and was not he was on medical leave. It was a workman's comp situation.
Okay.
He had to have a back surgery.
Oh, jeez.
And the problem was then they told him, you're not going to be able to come back and do your job. So, and he wasn't in a union there like he had been here.
Mm-hmm. And
they said, so we're going to let you go.
Oh, you got injured, but we're just going to let you go.
Yep.
Whoa.
So then we were losing our health insurance that he carried February 1st. So in January, 2 weeks apart, I had my radical neck and he had a back surgery.
Oh, okay.
So we were kind of a mess.
Yeah. Now, did you have any help out there? Because I'm thinking if you two are both laid up, these 4 kids are going to run feral through the neighborhoods and stuff. I don't know.
My mother, father-in-law, brother-in-law, 2 sister-in-laws are out there.
Oh,
My
okay.
mom ended up moving out there. So that she came though after my cancer second time. So we did have people because when I came home again, I couldn't be around anyone, and so they had to take the kids.
That's so wild.
I know. But yeah, we had a lot of stress as a
At
family.
a young age.
Yeah.
Very young age.
Yeah. And then so I had to get back to work. And so I could pick up health insurance.
Oh, jeez.
So I was only off work like 2 weeks.
After that?
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. I think you
Went
should be off
back.
for 2 years after something like that. Holy moly.
I know, but I just
You had
had
to
to keep going. And
Wow.
he was the one recovering for a long time after.
What kind of nurse are you?
I have been a labor and delivery nurse for, 26? Like I did that until 2 years ago, and then I did hospice along the way, and the last 8 years I was a manager in home care.
Okay.
So, and I stayed at the hospital per diem doing labor and delivery.
Okay.
So
I'm just curious of what you experienced while you were going through this and stuff.
Yeah.
But, okay. So you get through this. You're working again, and then we live happily ever after. No. Okay. Because there's gonna be a payoff at the end here. Because I'm gonna ask, how the heck did you to me, that you're already at a point where, you know what, you should just start drinking. You should. Who cares? Just start boozing up. Who cares? But all right. So then, what went down next?
Well, my husband ended up, when he was recovered enough, he couldn't find a job out there. And so he got a job back here from a friend. So we had to uproot our family.
And everybody else that came out.
Yeah, we left my mom out there then. And and all my 3 brothers ended up out there for different reasons. And we came back here. And back here we were on our own because my dad and stepmom were here, but they worked full time. Mm-hmm. But his job was, he could do it with his back, but he had to have a major back surgery after we were back here.
Oh, really?
So I was working, and then I was pregnant with my third.
Well, his back doesn't hurt that bad, I guess. Holy moly. Okay, so in the middle of all this, you're popping out kids too. You're moving. Oh my goodness.
He moved ahead of me 5 months.
Oh, okay.
So I had to finish the school year.
Finish the school year, pack.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And we get back here. So I had my youngest out there, and then moved back here right after.
Okay. So
now we have newborn on top of the other 4 children.
All right.
So now we have 5. And I don't even know what year would that have been. Like, okay, that would have been like, let's say '08. The boys were born in '07. So, Bianca graduated high school. Zach had his back surgery after we had her party, so that would have been June. And then he got, like, they would offer layoffs and you got paid to be off. So he took like a 3-month layoff and had his back surgery with his new job and was able to just go back then after. And I didn't stay with my daughter's dad, and my husband had been divorced. So we were dealing with kids.
Yes, of course, yes. Custodies and things. And
yes. Mine, yours, ours.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember. Oh, then I started having issues with my large intestine.
Okay.
I started getting bowel obstructions, and I ended up in the hospital, and it kept happening. And then about that time, I went to Boston where my cousin lived, and I got a diagnosis that I had Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a connective tissue disorder.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, nobody had heard of it. They had a specialized clinic there, and they were doing some genetic testing. Now you hear
everybody has it.
Now,
really? Is that right?
Different varying degrees.
Because there's all sorts of different subtypes of it, and so it can affect any connective tissue. So a lot of people have like joints where they're hypermobile. And I had some of that. Like I had surgery, I think 5 knee surgeries, 2 hip surgeries, shoulder surgeries, 2 feet surgeries. Like but then it can affect internally.
Is this going back to your 1920s when you had 19 or when you were in your 20s with the thyroid and all that, or are you just dealt a bad hand with the body?
I think I was dealt
a
bad. The thyroid is the one piece that doesn't fit with the Ehlers-Danlos being the culprit of everything else. So I ended up hospitalized again, and they said your colon has to come out. And I saw 3-4 surgeons here that said, yep, we'll cut you open and you'll have a temporary ostomy. And then my original doctor said, go to Cleveland Clinic and get a second opinion.
Oh, really?
So I did, and the surgeon there was like, I can do it robotically, 1 inch through your belly button, and you likely won't have an ostomy, but I won't know until I get in there if I can create like an internal pouch system. But I was desperate. It was so awful.
Really?
So in 2014, I had my large intestine removed.
All of it?
All of it.
Oh, good Lord. Okay.
It just didn't function. So it just would sit and I'd obstruct.
Oh, okay.
So then I lost weight then, like my normal weight, I'd say was 125. I think after that I was around 118. And I did good for a few years. And then I started having small bowel obstructions. And then I was diagnosed with gastroparesis and no motility. So basically it was affecting my stomach, small intestine, all of it. There is no motility. Nothing's moving. But you need your small intestine to live.
Yeah.
So
I can't believe you got rid of your whole large intestine. Now you got to get rid of the small, or...
Yeah, so I didn't get rid of the small,
okay.
But I've lived now with, I can't tell you how many obstructions, and then I have to eat like a no fiber diet.
No fiber diet.
Yes,
okay.
Which is the opposite of everything else that everybody's eating. So they fortify everything with fiber. So it's fruits, it's vegetables, it's all of that sort of stuff.
How was the husband? How are the kids handling all of this stuff?
I think my kids were just so used to, and I would not make a big deal about anything. So I didn't.
Are you in your head making a big deal out of it?
No, it was scary, like what's going on. And so
Because I kind of feel like I want to wrap you in bubble wrap right now because I'm afraid of anything else going on. This is like a lot of stuff, and
it is.
and this isn't a 20-year period, right? I mean, this is all pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my. Okay.
So my kids, I just tried to keep life normal, and my husband, supportive, and it was just the next thing we had to go through.
All right. I guess that leads me to this then. How do you do that? Because somebody's going to watch this particular episode and they're going to go, I'm going through half of it, but I'm losing my freaking mind right now. Or something like that nature. I get a cold and I'm down for 3 days. I call off sick, and I call Cleveland Clinic. I got all sorts of problems. But what can you tell people? How can you tell them? I don't know, not to jump. I mean, really, this is a lot.
It is. It's part my personality, part being a nurse and seeing the other side. I always know I'm blessed and people have it a lot worse. I go back to that, and being the oldest and sort of like just keeping life normal. I didn't get in my head too much because I've had so much that I'm just like, it's just the next thing. It's just the next thing.
She goes into the hospital and she's coordinating and managing everything from the hospital along with her own health. So she just kind of
It's on the to-do list.
Yeah, she just keeps working through it.
I don't know. That's just I don't know. I know a lot of people wouldn't have been able to handle it. And, I see those people like on Facebook groups and a lot of that stuff. So, and I will advocate for myself. I learned that really early on. Like, I will fight for the best care. I mean, I have a doctor in Pittsburgh. I go to Cleveland Clinic for a lot of things. If I don't agree, I'm going to go get a second opinion wherever.
Okay, that's a great one, because a lot of people say, well, that's the doctor. They know what's going on. But you're like, go get a second opinion. Go get a third, maybe.
Absolutely. I've worked with these doctors. I've watched them do surgeries for years and years and years, and I know they're not perfect. And I know, like, if you like in Toledo, they don't see the level of things that they see at Cleveland Clinic or some of these other places, and I'm going there. I don't wait for a referral from my primary care. I'm calling and I'm gonna get in, and that's a lot of it.
She holds them accountable.
Yes.
She'll call them out. This last stent, you and that doctor went round and round, and he finally listened and agreed with her. And she just...
But he wanted to be in charge and didn't want to listen to me. Like, I didn't know my body like he did. And I'm like...
I think by now you more...
You just met me, and it was I was like, then you can leave and don't come back to my room. And
she did say that.
And then he came back the next day, and I'm eating breakfast, and he's like, can I talk to you? And I look up. I'm like, what? What are you doing back here? Well, then he came to apologize, and he wanted to talk and listen. And I mean, I was like, well.
So is it Dr. Ego in the way? So don't be afraid to stand up to that, I guess, is another thing. Okay.
And as a nurse, I probably have that advantage of knowing that they're people and what is acceptable, what isn't. I just have been in the hospital so much that I'm not playing your games. I'm not following your rules and orders. And it is hard to stand up to them, because if you're sick but my family will advocate for me. I mean, we've called ombudsman.
What's that? What is that?
It's like the next, like, you report to them, and they're the go-between.
They're like a mediator.
Oh, okay.
But they can go to Medicare, Medicaid.
Oh, okay.
And the hospitals don't want. They advertise for you to contact them, and only had to do it once, but. I'm not afraid my care is going to be jeopardized, because I'm on top of it. But I know it's hard for a lot of people, especially a lot of older people, where you were raised where you listen to the doctor, they know best.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
you just do it. If I had done that, I would have died a long time ago.
Wow.
Like several times over.
From everybody that we've interviewed since we've started, I think the big theme has been go get a second opinion.
Sure.
Follow your
Yes.
gut.
Yep.
I mean,
Absolutely.
in almost every episode, I think everybody said that.
Mm-hmm. And it's not, in most doctors, like my GI doctor, they should want you to get a second. If they're a good
Yes.
doctor.
Yep, exactly.
Like he said, go get a second opinion. Like it didn't affect his ego that I'm going to, the
Sure.
ones that give you a lot of trouble about it, those are the ones I wouldn't want to take
Okay.
care of me in the first place. They should welcome a second opinion. It shouldn't be a reflection on them. Just
And they should welcome your opinion.
yes.
Because you do know your body, if you're medical or not. You know what feels normal. You
Well,
know what doesn't.
Especially after you've been through a lot.
Yes.
yeah. And they still won't, you know. I still have to argue about things every time I go in. But
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being a doctor because that's life and death, you know.
Yeah.
And I would always second guess my own self. 'Cause, you know, I may know a lot of things, but when it comes to that, oh God.
and I'm unique. My case is very unique, and especially here, they don't know. They dismiss like, oh, Ehlers-Danlos. Okay, I don't really know what that means or what that's about, so I'm not going to focus on that. I'm just going to focus on why you're in here, which is this other issue or things like that.
Wow.
And
But-
you have complicated Ehlers-Danlos.
Right.
So
Very
it's not
complicated.
just, you know, her joints are
Mhm.
hyperextended. It's affecting your heart.
Yep.
Really?
I'm
Every organ at this point. Yeah, it was.
So,
rough.
since I don't know a lot about it, I got you. You started off a little while ago saying, "I'm stable right now." So, what does that mean? You got a balanced meds. You're working out. You're stretching.
No.
What do you do exactly to stay stable?
I fell apart more before I can say I was stable. I worked 2 jobs. I worked crazy hours, day shift, night shift, and I was pushing myself. I would get these small bowel obstructions. I'd end up in the hospital over and over and over, and then I was just losing weight like rapidly. And then it kind of all fell apart in 22, my middle son, is going to school at Ohio State, 19, going on 20. That was the age I was. COVID was his freshman year in college.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
So, sophomore year, it was his sophomore year, they were just stuck in their dorms. And so I hadn't seen him since Christmas break. He came home for spring break for 1 day before he went to Florida. And he and his now wife had both lost a lot of weight. And they were like, oh, well, we're allowed to walk. We're going back in person. So we've been walking. We live a mile away now. And I thought, oh, okay. Well, we went on a family vacation in June of 22. And I have a picture. I have all this extra sunscreen, and he's very fair skinned. So he did this so I could do this, and I see this huge mass. Huge.
Oh, your kid, your son?
My son.
Oh my God.
And I was like, that's a thyroid tumor.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
No. I got on the phone down in North Carolina to make appointments back here. So then we get back here, he has an ultrasound. They're like, we can't even, it's under his chest wall, and the ultrasound can't see through bone. So we know it's huge. And then his tumor marker, like it should be 0. His was like 590.
Oh my God.
So his care.
Sore throats, anything of the nature?
Weight loss. Yes. Then he was like, I did have trouble swallowing, like kind of like me, like his hair thinned, and he had really thick hair, like, but you don't put it all together. And
oh my God.
And so he was at Ohio State. So he went to the James, and they also have a thyroid tumor clinic.
Oh,
So they
okay.
were amazing. And I went down for all his appointments and stuff. And when he got in there, they were like, we're biopsying this. And then they said, I'm not really sure. I don't know that it's cancer. And I thought, it's cancer. I know. So I'm in a meeting.
Okay, are you telling your son this, or are you just
yes,
thinking?
From the beginning.
Okay, you said this
on
could be
vacation,
cancer.
I said, yes. I was like,
Oh boy.
I said, this is probably thyroid cancer. And so then he has these biopsies. I'm putting on a nurse's meeting at work, and my phone rings, and it's the doctor's cell phone. And she's like, can we call Connor like on a 3-way call? And I called, and luckily he answered. And she was like, it's medullary thyroid cancer.
Wow.
And you need your thyroid out. So like me, he finished spring semester. Well, June
Yeah.
we're on vacation. July we're
Yeah.
making these appointments. August 1st he had well, they said, we think you only need half of it removed. I said, take it all.
Oh yeah.
You're already in there. And luckily when they got in there, it was in both sides anyway.
Okay.
So he had his thyroid removed, and then he did.
I'm going to just stop for people that don't know. Sometimes you only have to remove half the thyroid.
But you still take medicine.
Not always, because I was looking into it. But a
that's
lot of
right.
times you do. It depends on levels and things like that. But so sometimes people can get away with half a thyroid.
Or sometimes people have to go back in to get the second half removed later. And I knew he was not going to want to do that. Like, so in my head, I was already like, because we've gone through all of this with the doctors and stuff. So they took his thyroid, and then they do radioactive iodine very differently than when I had it.
Sure?
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Because you were
So there's
overdone.
Yes. So there's a maximum amount of radiation that you can get in your lifetime.
In your lifetime.
Yep. Or you end up being a very high risk for leukemia.
Okay.
So when I had my 2 doses, they were very high. I maxed out my lifetime, by the time I'm 25, 26. So there's no more radioactive iodine for me. And if I ever needed it for another cancer or anything, I'm likely going to get leukemia. So
Oh my God.
now, 20 some years later, they're like, what was your dose? Oh, we do this whole thing to figure out the absolute lowest milliequivalent that we have to give them. And they don't even have to stay in the hospital anymore.
Oh.
I'm in those padded rooms, terrible. And he got 5 milliequivalents. I had gotten 25 each time.
Wow.
And it took care of it.
Good for
Yes.
technology and
Yes.
science nowadays. But yeah, of course, 20 years ago.
Right. Things were very different. So, and he's been good still. He still goes down there for his care. And
Okay. So now that was it so far. That's so the past 4 years. It was 4 years ago-ish?
I was 22.
Okay.
Yep.
So now better? Good? We're okay?
With him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been good.
I like the way you said that with him.
Yes, he has done well.
Okay. But still, that's okay. You got your stuff going on. You've got 5 kids. You've got, and then, oh, by the way, one of my kids, now we got to go through the whole thing again. I don't know how it.
In 2018, I had a mole removed that I went in for. I get skin checks, but I went in because this one I just thought was changing. I didn't get to see my dermatologist. I had to see a nurse practitioner who was like, no, I think it's fine. I'm like, well, I paid a copay. I'm here.
Yeah.
Take it off. And that ended up being melanoma.
Oh, jeez.
So I had to have a big surgery to have all the melanoma removed. And we have a crazy family history of melanoma. So
I think you have a crazy family history. That's
I'm like the oddball in the family.
Are you? Everybody else
Yes.
is fine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. And I was the healthiest child. I never went to the doctor. I never got sick until, literally, I didn't go until that thyroid situation. No, never. The OB, when I was pregnant, was my first, experience with doctors and all of that. So I had that in between my pulling out, then him getting cancer, and then fall of 23, I ended up with a small bowel obstruction. When I had the obstructions, I end up at Flower because it's so painful you can hardly make it even that far. And then they always look at me and they're like, "You're too complex for us," and they transported me to Cleveland.
Oh, really?
Yes. And there I ended up with all sorts of complications, like because of the Ehlers-Danlos and where I was at with things. So I ended up with something called refeeding syndrome. We didn't know this then, but when I got discharged, I kept ending up back in the hospital over and over and over because I would be home, I'd do okay, and then within a few days, I would just I couldn't function. I couldn't get out of bed.
Wow.
I was losing weight. I was down
was
80
so
some
thin.
pounds. I have pictures. It looked like I was dying, and
Really?
I felt like I was dying, and it took I don't know how many hospitalizations and surgery to figure out that my body no longer would maintain its own sodium. So, and that affects everything.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I ended up, now I had to take 3,000 milligrams orally of salt a day. I'm supposed to get 5,000 more in my diet in a day. It's somebody's dream diet. I always say that. I can't have fruits and vegetables and all that, but they want me to have, eat fat to gain weight and healthy fats and then lots of salt. And
how okay, let's stop with that story for a minute. Just for the side comment. Do you like salt? Do you like salty fries? Do you like salt anything?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're okay.
Crazy.
Okay,
Yeah.
But she loves salads. She loves fruits.
Okay, the things you're supposed to. Yeah,
Especially
okay.
this time of year. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I'm
yeah.
I just want that. I just want that. But my father-in-law passed away the day after Christmas in 24, and we flew to Colorado for it, and I ate some cucumbers and ended up with a bowel obstruction.
Wow, just that quick, huh?
Just that quick, and I almost missed his funeral because I was in the hospital. And then, so salt. I salt everything, and now salt is the big thing for athletes and recovering. I'm
told that when you wake up in the morning, you should have salt water to drink.
Yes.
I don't know if is that a thing? Really?
Everyone's drinking the high sodium drinks to recover from the heat because it binds with water and you maintain your water. So when I'm thirsty, I'm supposed to be drinking these salt drinks that I have, not water. Even though I crave water, that's not what my body needs.
What most everyone's, water, yeah.
Yes. So I bring a little water and balance the two. So that was going, and I was working. I had to stop working because I was in and out of the hospital so much. And then I tried to work remotely and do stuff, and that was just a mess. I was hospitalized a bunch of times. I had a port. I still have a port. And it got infected.
Oh, jeez.
And that had happened already before. And I knew I needed to go to the hospital. I knew I needed IV antibiotics. And my husband was at work. And so my mom, who had been at all these hospitalizations with me, super active, babysitting grandchildren, volunteering. She was a school psychologist. And she was there with me. So I said, "Can you drive me?" I was just going to go to Flower because I knew I just needed antibiotics. "Can you take me to Flower?" Sure. She shows up. She lives down the street from me. She shows up. And then we go to leave, and she's very confused. And I get in her car, and it's full of stuff. And I'm like, "Are you moving? Are you living out of your car? What is this?" And then she's like, she can't figure out how to put her seatbelt on. And then she said, "There's something wrong." And I'm like, "Seriously, something wrong?" And then I could just see her whole left side drooping. And so I'm like, I had to call 911. I thought she was having a stroke. So we both get taken to the hospital. And
oh my goodness.
While we're there, I get admitted. I'm her medical power of attorney and everything. I'm in one room, so they're coming to me for things. My brothers are with her in another room. And they did a CT scan. Then they did an MRI. And I said to my dad, "They're going to come and tell me that my mom has a brain tumor." And he's like, "No, don't think that." It sounds like more like a mini stroke, like she seemed to be doing a little better. They diagnosed her with a meningioma, which is a benign brain tumor. And she has a twin sister who lives near Cleveland, and she said, identical twin, she said, nope, my God, get her. They were going to discharge her because follow-up was outpatient. Get her to Cleveland Clinic for a second opinion. My brother took her from the ER to Cleveland Clinic. I'm still in the hospital. They looked at the same scans that were done here, and they said, this is grade 4 glioblastoma.
Really?
So as I'm in the hospital, she's being diagnosed with this. Like, we need to do a craniotomy right away. We need to do all these things, and I'm stuck in the hospital here. And that's a terminal diagnosis with glioblastoma. So then I had been pushed for a long time to stop working and apply for disability because I was struggling. Like, my body.
Unfortunately, it's true.
My small intestine was failing, so it wasn't absorbing nutrients.
Which you're a nurse, so you're helping people at the same time, which you're doing a great thing. It's admirable, but at the same time, holy crap.
And I loved what I did, and I didn't want to give it up. It was such part of my identity. And then, so I applied, and I was like, this will never go through. Nobody gets disability that quick. You got to fight. You got to do all this stuff. I submitted everything on a Friday. I took a long time to do it, but my 2 main diagnoses are terminal because I'm severely malnourished, and you can't repair the small intestine. So the damage had been done, and I don't absorb what I need. So I had been put, I had an NJ tube for 2 feedings, and then I started on TPN, which is where you get all your nutrition through an IV bag.
Okay.
So it doesn't go through the gut. It goes to the bloodstream, so your body can get...
So other areas of the body absorbing and things of the nature.
Yes.
Okay.
So I started on that, and I applied. Monday, I get a call from the Social Security office, and they say, we just have a question about something, and I'm fast-tracking this to Columbus. And I'm like...
Wow.
Okay.
Well, they probably read your file and said, yeah, that you should call a decade ago.
I don't think they probably had to read far. And that was like 2 weeks before my mom was diagnosed and I got sick. So while I'm in the hospital waiting on my mom, I was like, let me check and see where it's at. And because they said it'd take a few months, I was approved when I looked.
Wow. Well.
And that allowed me, honestly, I was too sick that whole year. That following year, I was in and out of the hospital or living in bed. But it gave me a freedom to also help my mom.
She was managing still.
I was managing now because instantly my mom has grade 4 glioblastoma. I had to take over all her finances and affairs her life, mine, my family's, my kids. I still have that point. How old would the boys have been? This was 23. The youngest.
Well, Carter would have been 16.
Yeah. So
if anyone deserves this, it's absolutely that's something that I was amazed 20 minutes ago when I asked you the same thing. It's like, how you're going through all this, and then by the way, I'm still going to work.
Yeah,
and it's like something's got to give somewhere. They had to force me
to stop, basically. But yeah, that really took a lot out of me, and my mom became full-time care, so she just passed away in February.
Oh, really? Okay.
And so now I have the estate and all of that to deal with.
But your mom was a fighter, and your mom, what did they give her, 6 to 12 months? And
she made it 20 months.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep. Yeah, and both of my parents are that way. They're very strong. They're never complain. The cards you were dealt, you have to deal with them. What choice do you have? And I can sit and be angry or mad, but I'm missing out then on the joyous things in life with my kids.
Well, I get that, but I think it's in a lot of ways you deserve a little bit. I have
to flip it off. I have grandkids now, and like I said, that son that had thyroid cancer just got married last weekend, and
it was a good wedding.
There's things that I just have to distract myself with.
Okay, so we're coming up to about that time. So I have a feeling that you could probably go on longer, but I don't. I want to wrap this up, and Holly, if I miss anything, please jump in. You are by nature and by your career at the time were a very giving and helpful person, and that's awesome. So you said you're kind of stable now. Help someone out there watching. Help them get through even half of what you had to go through. How are they going to get through the next few weeks, months, years? Give me just a couple of points you can think of to help that along.
A lot of it is mental, and I know that's hard for a lot of people. It's easy to say, but staying like really in the moment, or, not letting yourself think too far ahead, or not feeling bad for yourself, but like just staying present in the moment and trying to get through those. When your brain is telling you, trying to talk you to how terrible everything is, you just have to have the self-talk back to yourself I always go back to what I'm grateful for, what I have. And, I have faith, and a lot of it, I just believe people are learning from me somehow, or I'm helping somebody somehow. I'm showing that you can do it, make it, not let it consume you, and
get a second opinion.
Get a second
opinion. Go to Cleveland
Yes.
Clinic.
And fight people and fight your medical bills. I just ended up fighting till the end from a bill from that 2023 from Cleveland Clinic. And I called all these years, and I wasn't letting it go because they were wrong. Finally, last week I got it handled, but I take notes. Who I talk to. Yeah. I'm their worst nightmare.
Well, that's the kind of people. Oh, it must have been a thing. And
yes.
For sure. How was the wedding with having everybody around and all that?
It was great.
How did you handle it? Were you healthy? I mean, did you?
I did, and there's been times, Holly's seen, I didn't make it through, like my younger son's graduation party. I got sick in the middle of it and had to leave. But I did well.
We danced.
I was, it was a long day.
Where was it?
Nazareth.
Oh, here in town. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just very joyous, and we.
I mean, I'm guessing you're not gonna you're gonna sit down when you need to. You're gonna take breaks. You're gonna go get some fresh air. You're gonna whatever.
I did.
It's
sit
okay.
A lot. I did sit a lot, and then people came to me.
Okay. But having everybody around and stuff of the nature, that's not how's the husband's back, for example.
He's got like aches, pains, but he just does his exercise routine and does okay.
Okay.
I mean, it's not 100%, but I mean, that's a struggle still for him, but
he's able to be mobile and do things.
Yeah,
he's very active.
Okay.
He's very
good.
Sit still. And I even, after being in that hospital on and off for a year, my muscles were so atrophied, and that was playing on me mentally. One day I walked into the Pilates studio close by, and I was like, I've never worked out since high school sports. I'm like, I don't know how people like this. I'm gonna try it, and I felt energy afterwards I hadn't.
Really?
And I've gone. It's been over a year now, at least 3 times a week.
No kidding.
And so I have my strength.
With IVs hanging out and everything.
Yeah, stuff hanging out, my tube in my nose. I was there.
Yep.
So another thing, I guess, so you would say if you're feeling, you got to get up, move the body a little bit. Okay.
You got to move. Like you just cannot, if you're sedentary and you're sitting there, you're in your thoughts. And when you get the little endorphins going and feel better physically.
Yeah. That helps you.
Yes.
The brain, yeah.
Yeah. But
you're involved in some groups, support groups and counseling.
Yep.
And she was huge help to me. They found nodules on my thyroid. It was recommended that I have my thyroid removed. She said, go to OSU, get a second opinion. They looked at it. They said it's not cancer. They drained it and put alcohol in it and dried it up like a zit.
No kidding.
And he, locally it was, we might have to take it out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So she's helped me in a lot of ways.
And as a nurse, I get asked to help, everybody, which is good because it's hard. I'm not working as a nurse, but I'm still a nurse.
Hey, you could get a job as a consultant, maybe. That's a great thing. You can get a couple of bucks, come in and talk for half an hour or whatever. But well, you know what? Then I'm going to bring this up since I'm going to volunteer your services. Do you have questions? Maybe Erin can help you. Maybe you're nervous about something or something, whatever. Email us, podcastthroughit@gmail. Put Erin's name in the subject line, and then we'll throw it to you if you don't mind, and then we'll kind of revisit it or email you back or something like that. So, wow, man, I'm glad to see you here. I mean, I'm exhausted just thinking about all that stuff, but you've been very good and stuff like that. Anything else that we should? I mean, I know there's a lot more, but anything else that we should ask or talk about before we wrap up here?
No, I think she did a great job going through most of it at a high
It's hard because there's so much, but that's the big things.
This has been a presentation of the Through It podcast. Conversations about surviving, healing, and growing with your hosts Holly Rogers and Paul Spurl. Questions or comments about one of the episodes, or if you want to be a sponsor of the Through It podcast, email us anytime, podcastthroughit@gmail.com. Produced and sponsored in part by the Entertainment Network. EnterTheNetwork.com. Thanks very much for listening and being with us while we get through it.